Think that social media, removing someone from the world around them, doesn't go far enough. Last year, a shocking 1 in 30 deaths in the country were due to assisted suicide. Now, if that statistic wasn't depressing enough, consider how it's being packaged to citizens there.
Last breaths are sacred. When I imagine my final days, I see bubbles. I see the ocean. I see music. Even now, as I seek help to end my life, there is still so much beauty. You just have to be brave enough to see it.
Talk about a dystopian, sick advertisement. But that's only part of the story. The company behind that ad is called Simons. They're a Canadian fashion and home goods retailer. They reportedly staged excursions for this young woman to film as some, brand building exercise. Here now is Sheila Gunn-Reid, editor-in-chief of Rebel News. She's running a national campaign to force the government to end this practice. Sheila, it seems to me that they're selling assisted suicide with a, very sophisticated, fun, kind of adventurous message. What the heck is going on up north?
Laura, I just want to thank you so much for your interest in this. Unlike the corporate media here in Canada that's been tainted by Justin Trudeau's bailouts, at Rebel News, we're one of the few independent outlets that can still speak about these issues freely, but also with the sense of horror the issue rightly deserves. We see companies do this all the time. We see them align themselves with government on issues like climate change and BLM and reproductive issues. They go woke. This is what it means to be woke in Canada now. So why wouldn't corporations align themselves with this next anti-human, anti-life thing? I just want to point out to you how extreme Canada is on this issue. Justin Trudeau's government has removed the 10-day wait time from when you ask for medical assistance in suicide and when you receive it. And you don't have to do it in writing. You can just verbally ask the state to kill you. To put this all into context, we had about 16,000 deaths in Canada related to COVID. Depends on how you count that, of COVID or with COVID, but it was 16,000 deaths. We know that there were 10,000 requests in writing for medically assisted suicide, and that doesn't take into account the deaths that occurred because somebody just verbally asked for it and received it on the very day that they asked for it. And when we say medical assistance in suicide, don't think for a second that means a doctor's participating in this. It doesn't have to be your doctor. It can just be a medical professional. That might be a nurse that is seeing you today for the first time, or even a pharmacist that's helping you take a short trip off a long take a short trip off the earth. That's the state of affairs here in Canada.
Well, here's the CEO of Simons, the company that produced that pro-euthanasia campaign. Watch.
It's obviously not a commercial campaign. It's more an effort to use our freedom, our voice, and the privilege we have to speak and create. Companies have a responsibility to participate in communities and to help build the communities that we want to live in tomorrow and leave to our children.
Okay, so Sheila, how are we actually building communities if the goal is to help kill people? I'm not following this logic. That guy is weird, okay? He's just a weirdo. But assisted suicide now is the way to a better, more stable society. It sounds like something you'd hear out of the CCP.
Well, and what does this have to do with ladies' clothes? That man sells ladies' clothes. What does that have to do with anything? In Canada right now, if you annoy a government bureaucrat whose job it is to help you through your acute medical or psychological issues that you're experiencing on that very day, they will suggest to you that maybe you should just do us all a favor and help yourself to some sanctioned homicide. We know of at least 7 military veterans who have been experiencing acute PTSD, who were offered medical assistance in dying by Veterans Affairs. We also know about parents of sick babies who have been offered medical assistance in dying.
Oh, they want to get. It's like they want to get human life off the books. Yeah, well, they want to get human life that's inconvenient off the books. It's kind of obvious where this is all going, if anyone wants to pay attention to what we're talking about here. Sheila, you're doing an invaluable service in Canada by raising the awareness about this. We're going to stay on this because if it's there, believe me, it's going to be growing as a movement in the United States as well. We appreciate it. Thank you.